Today we're going to be talking about interpreting and comparing a box and whisker plot. And this is some of us just what we've already seen, and then now what happens when we go into what's called a double box and whisker plot. Okay. So here we just have a box and whisker plot that's already been made. Now, something about getting a box and whisker plot with none of the data is you can't determine how many scores or numbers, in this case it's test scores. We don't know how many it actually represents, but what we do know is those 5 data points that we know how to locate. That much is given to us. Outside of that, we don't really know a lot. So the first question says, what's the high score? Well, the high score is the same thing as the maximum, and it was 102. It says, what percent of the class scored above a 72? Well, here's the 72. This is 25%. This is 25%. And this is 25%. That means that 75% scored above a 72. What was the median score of the test? It's this wonderful line that I can't draw straight, which is an 88%. What percent of the class scored between an 88 and a 96? 25%. Do you think this test was too hard for students? And explain. I don't think so. Because 75% of students scored a 72 or higher. That means the majority of the class got a C or better. You had this one outlier down here and some people scattered in there. Now it depends too on the size of the class. If this is only a class of 12 people, that means 9 people scored better than a 72. But if this is a class of, say, 28 people, that means 21 did better than a 72. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now let's look at this one. This particular box and plot represents average minutes per night spent on homework. So it says, what percent of sophomores spend more than 60 minutes on homework each night? Here's where it is. That's only 25%. And you notice that 25% goes anywhere from 60 all the way up to 190 minutes per night. What is the range of times that the middle 50% of sophomores spend on their homework? So the middle is this box. So that means 60 to 20, which means 40 minutes is the range of minutes spent on homework each night. So anywhere from 20 to 60 minutes. How many sophomores do not do homework? Well, we can't really say how many, but what we do know is that 25% represent 0 to 20 minutes, so we don't know exactly how many. We'd have to see the actual data to know that exact answer. We don't know exactly at this point. What percent of the sophomores spend less than 20 minutes of homework on each night? That's your 25% there. Now here we've got a little bit of information. It's quite a bit going on, but it was the best way to show you all of it in one place. So below are the prices of snowboards at 2 different competing snowboard stores. You've got Middletown, and then you've got Snowboard Central. So they want to know the main statistics, or the 5 main statistics or data points of each set of data. So what we're going to do is below this, we're going to go ahead and put them in order from least to greatest. Then we'll go ahead and circle and use some abbreviations to tell us what everything is. So it looks like the lowest score, this is already in least to greatest for both places, which is awesome because that means it's already there. So we know our minimum is 345. We know our maximum then is 405. Our median is the middle of this data. Now the nice part is this is an even amount, so it's between these two values. So 356 plus 360 divided by 2 would give you 358 is your median. Then we're going to go on this part, so from here. We're going to find the median from 345 to 356, which is 350. That's your lower quartile. And your upper quartile is 375. Now we're going to do the same thing. If I can manage, I don't think I can change my... This pen's been a little bit of a pain. I wanted to change colors. But our minimum this time is 343. Our max is 402. Our median, once again, we have to go and do some math. So it's between 386 and 392. So that means it's 389. I cannot write today. 389. There we go. Now, just like we did on the previous one, right here in the middle of this is our lower quartile. So it's 370. And our upper quartile is here. It's 395. So now what we're going to do is we're going to draw what's called a double box and whisker. So we're going to put Middletown, since it's what's first, we're going to do it first. And then right on top of it, we're going to do Snowboard Central. So we're going to take our minimum of 345, put a dot. Our maximum of 405, put a dot. Our median of 358, we're going to approximate it, and there's our dot. Our lower quartile, 350, and our upper quartile, 385. We're going to draw a box. We're going to draw our line. We're going to draw our whiskers. We're going to do the exact same thing for Snowboard Central. Snowboard Central is at 343. I know it looks like I'm at 340, but I realized my 345 was not exactly in the middle, so I pushed it a little below that. My max is at 402. My median this time is at 389. It's way up here. My lower quartile is at 370. My upper quartile is at 395. Same thing, draw your box, draw your line, draw your whiskers. So it says, what's the median price? And this is Middletown Snowboards. This is Snowboard Central. Just so you know, normally I would do two different colors, but for whatever reason my pen doesn't want to change. So I'm just going to leave it in that, but I've identified which one's which. So what's the median price for a snowboard at Middletown Snowboards? Well, we've already written that. It's $358. What's the lowest price you could pay for a snowboard at Snowboard Central? At your minimum, it's $343. What's the most expensive board at Middletown? That would be your max of $405. What is the range of prices for snowboards at Snowboard Central? That is your max minus your min. I believe that's 59, but don't quote me on that. Do the math. And right now, the math is not wanting to come to me, so that is 402 minus 343. That's 59. What price represents the 75th percentile for Middletown snowboards? So that just means what's the upper quartile. Upper quartile is 375. Which store would you rather buy a snowboard from, and why? I would choose Middletown because their median price is much lower. If you look, 75% of their boards are less than a 375, while 75% of Snowboard Central's boards are a 370 or higher. So it's cheaper to go to Middletown Snowboards because most of their stuff is going to be below 375. And that's it. I hope you have a wonderful day.